Hi, for those of you that don't know me, my name is Nicole Sism, and I'm going to start a vlog. It's going to be called Chaos and Grace. The Lord has spoken very deeply to my heart and asked me to share my story, share my life with you. The chaos with 3 boys and living on a farm and with my husband, and then also the grace, the beauty, the mercy, where I find grace to extend and I'm covered in His grace. If you're looking for a blog that's going to teach you makeup tips or how to get your life together, this is not the blog for you. I will never have my life together. I will never pretend to have my life together. And I think that for those of you out there looking for a real, transparent, vulnerable, open blog, this is going to be it. I'm going to share my struggles. I'm going to share my hurts, my griefs, my pain, my joys, the hilarity of life, of parenting, of being a mom, and just being a teacher and living this life when it's hard, because it is hard. It's not easy. And there are times that I feel alone and I feel lost. And sometimes I feel like I need to put my Bible on my face in order to actually soak in what God's telling me, because I can't hear Him. But the good thing is that Scripture tells us that God sits at the right hand of God and He prays for us. And that brings me such peace, because sometimes I just want to say to God, you know, do what? Like, what is happening? Why? And, you know, the cool thing about a God that we serve that loves us so much is that He knows that He created our emotions, and that we're not always going to have it together, and that sometimes we're going to default to our flesh. And He's big enough to take our emotions. He's big enough to handle our emotions. And I think that's amazing. And that transformed my relationship with Christ. And I'll share that moment with you later in time. This is Raleigh, by the way. If you can see him, he's my golden retriever, my little sidekick. But I want to leave you with this, that you are enough. And that in your brokenness, in your grief, in your messed up, crazy, chaotic life, you're enough. You're enough to be used by God. You're enough to be transformed into the beautiful, purposeful person that He created you to be for His kingdom. And that brings me so much joy, because I am so messed up. And I make mistakes, and I'll never get it right. And you know what? That's okay, because we live in the rhythms of grace, where we just ride through grace and we accept it and we extend it and we acknowledge that God is bigger than anything we're facing now. In the Bible study that I'm doing right now, I'm learning about in Hebrews 10 and 11 and switching back and forth to chapter 6, and you know, just to never give up, to not shrink back. And I'll read that scripture verse to you real quick, because it has spoken volumes to me. But it says, "We are not of those who shrink back and are destroyed, but those who have faith and preserve their souls." And I wrote in the margin, we are living by every word from the mouth of God. That if I live tethered to Him and what He says in His word, then all my mess ups and all this chaos and all this craziness that happens, and I do mean craziness. I'm talking like poop flying, broken lamps, just mass chaos all the time. My youngest just grabbed his tallywhacker at the play that he had for his preschool. It was humbling, to say the least, to be his mom in that moment. He just turned 3 on Monday. But I tell you that because we don't need to give up, that we need to have the endurance and not to shrink back, because God's going to honor when we don't shrink back, and that He's going to repay back those things, the brokenness and the seasons where the enemy is taken from us. But I want you to stand strong. I want you to put on that armor of God, because, you know, in my brokenness is when I realize how strong Christ truly is and how good He is to me, and how weak and imperfect I am, and that He still chooses me. And He still chooses you, that you are enough. And I'm going to leave you with my life verse. This is my favorite verse on the planet. And I'm going to read it to you in the version of the Message, because it's kind of like I use it as a commentary. But it's in Ephesians 6, verses 4 through 5. Make a careful exploration of who you are and the work you have been given. And then sink yourself into that. Don't be impressed with yourself. Don't compare yourself with others. Each of you must take responsibility for doing the creative best you can with your own life, because God's given us our own life. And so today I'm going to leave you with that little nugget of truth, of grace to cover you, that you have your own life to live, not somebody else's. So don't fall into the comparison trap like I do every day, every hour, I feel like. So remember that. And then I'm going to leave you with a little chaos today. And this is a video of me talking with a friend of mine through a video chat with the baby when he was younger. And then my middle son comes in and has to want to steal the show. And some things kind of break into chaos, and you'll see that. And that's just a little sliver of what this vlog is going to bring you. And I just pray for you. I pray that if you feel compelled to share this, then do so. And if you don't, that's okay too, because this is about me being obedient to Christ and letting you see the transparency within my life. So it's been a joy and an honor, and I hope to see you back at Chaos and Grace. Thanks. There she is. Say hey, Anson. You want to go back to her? He keeps trying to push where you were talking a minute ago, saying hey to him. There's Brody. Hello. No, I had so much hairspray on it.
Sorry.
Just broke my lamp. Brody did. With a, put the glass down. Put the glass down. That's glass.
I didn't mean to.
I know, but you shouldn't have a curtain rod in your hand twirling it. Let me go clean this up. I'll talk to you later. Love you. Bye.